Ladies and gentlemen, I am Paul, U.S. Army combat veteran, and today we're going to be taking a look at another Minecraft video. There's all sorts of combat in Minecraft, and this is a bee fight. Alex and Steve life. Let's get into it. And as always, guys, I always try to link in the description to the source video, which you should absolutely watch it. Don't watch it here for the first time. I make a whole bunch of annoying commentary anyway. Oh man. All right. Well, one, I want to point out that somehow this is like Minecraft levels of blockiness, but just like awesome lighting and animation. This is crazy. I've literally never seen Minecraft with this good of like cinematic effects. Like, look. Everything is still blocky, but look at the shadow effects and the lighting, right? So I'm also trying to like keep the audio at a level where the music, if it's on here, isn't going to get like totally copyright claimed. They may use YouTube Studio, but they may not. Okay, so I want to point something out here, is that there's a stereotype that like criminals meet at night. Couldn't be further from the truth, right? When you are trying to do something surreptitiously, right? What you want to do is try your best to blend in with the environment. And what I mean by that is, right, what is gonna arouse the most suspicion from a neighbor, a cop driving by, right? Is it going to be literally this dude standing at night pointing and laughing while wearing all black? No, of course not. Right? This is the most suspicious look. If your goal is to minimize suspicion, right, what are you going to look like? You're going to be out during the regular day. You're going to look like you're doing regular stuff with your time. You're going to just try to blend in to the maximum extent possible with the regular crowd, right? Instead, if your goal was to get caught, you would go out late at night, you'd wear all black, you'd sneak around, you'd look like you were getting into trouble, right? It would be like easy to see somebody where you're just like, wow, it's only a matter of time before they commit whatever crime they're trying to commit. So this is this idea that like bad people come out at night is kind of a stereotype. Now, unless you're talking about like nocturnal zombies, different set of equations there. This is the highest drama Minecraft combat I've ever seen. So it's not clear to me that a bow, I don't know, fighting zombies by jumping around and stuff seems like superfluous, right? If they're following standard zombie rules where you have to, you know, cut off the head, well, then what you would want is just a really long axe. A bow isn't really going to do anything. I know in Minecraft you can shoot a zombie to death with a bow, but I guess that point's not relevant then, huh? All right, so here's what happens, right? The person who has correctly figured out the situation is, of course, the golem, or whatever he is. So if you have to fight overwhelming numbers of enemy, what you want to try to do is called canalizing. You want to use obstacles, let's say big rocks, or ideally a natural obstacle, like say a river, something that they can't cross. You want to canalize them so that their numbers aren't that effective. You want to end up in a sort of like Spartans in 300 situation where there's a lot of enemy, but if you force them into a narrow path, the numbers kind of equalize, right? Only a few of them can engage a few of you. And while you'll still lose, right, eventually you'll just get attritioned out. You will be able to buy more time if you have allies that will be arriving later. Now, if you don't have that, then you have a real problem. What you want to try to do is trade space for time. So you want to harass the enemy, but continually fall back. The problem with zombies is they don't really care about their own lives. So as you hit zombies, when you do it to people, right? People don't want to, get shot or stabbed. So when you attack one person, the other ones will slow down, they'll get low, they'll hit the dirt, right? They'll stop what they're doing and try to figure out where the threat's coming from. Zombies don't really do that. So you can't really trade space for time in the same way you can with living people, meaning that they need to run away. Smart. Very dramatic music. Spooky skeletons. Oh, interesting. Bees. Okay, there's bees. Oh, that's like the village witch, right? Agender sorcerer, agender magic practitioner. I don't know if the bees are sad. Poor bees. In the real world, of course, you guys may be aware that the population of bees is diminishing rapidly. There's a theory that it's actually caused by pesticides used at an industrial scale in crop production, and that it's really impacted insect life cycles. It means there's way fewer insects around to pollinate. I certainly see it, right? There are very few insects in my garden this year, and it's, harder to get them to, pollinate plants, pollinate fruit and vegetables that I want to see grow. So in the real world, of course, we do have an obligation to try to save the bees. And, there's a lot of theories, but honestly, if you can become a beekeeper, you get, free honey that you can actually sell. It can actually be a pretty profitable enterprise, especially nowadays, selling it at farmers markets and stuff. People want that locally sourced wildflower honey. They'll pay a premium, and you get to help the bees. The weird noses on the villagers, man. They're so weird to me. They all look like Squidward. Minecraft, the blockheads. You blockhead. Oh, okay, he's like training the bees. Okay, you can talk to bees in this game, all right. Insects, insects aren't really that trainable, though supposedly bees can learn things, right? They can learn things about where honey is, and they can respond to some level of stimulation, but generally, these sort of insects don't have complex enough brains to engage in higher level learning. Okay, training bees to kill. That's pretty dramatic. I'm not even going to... There's a variety of reasons why this won't work, but what's fascinating is the ways in which it will. What this guy is describing actually is almost exactly what Ukrainian forces are doing with drones right now in Ukraine. They are taking commercial off-the-shelf drones, and literally they even sound like these little bees. They're having them fly up, fly over Russian tanks and vehicles, and they have little bombs strapped to them, and they release the bomb, dropping it onto the Russian tanks. Now, unlike the bees that seem to be able to do this automatically, the drones, of course, need a drone operator, but crucially, that drone operator can be safely outside of visual range of the target, meaning that it is much, much easier for them to engage Russian targets safely thanks to their drones. They are really committed to you know, killing this witch figure. Minecraft people will never not look weird to me. Okay, some of the way these two Minecraft bros look at each other is they're really good friends. Really good friends, I think. Okay. So one of the things that's interesting is in the Vietnam War, you actually saw these booby traps used pretty routinely. Sometimes just this style of trap too, against U.S. forces, right? Who would, you know, push into a village or an area where they suspected the North Vietnamese army was, but the North Vietnamese army would have already retreated, and the Americans would have walked into a series of booby traps. These can include, right, big pits in the ground that are covered up. Oftentimes these pits would be covered in sticks that would, you know, cause really bad penetrating wounds of U.S. troops. You would see sort of, you know, the grenade on a string stuff. And you also saw these sort of traps used to a lesser extent in Iraq when U.S. troops would clear a city or a building that had been occupied by insurgents. The insurgents would also rig it with explosives. So here's what's fascinating too, is that if you're going to attack someone, what you want to make sure you do is change up your tactics, right? Human beings are going to work to counter your tactics. This isn't just a military thing, right? If someone attacks you from, say, the same wood line, you're going to build a wall along that wood line. If someone attacks you from the sea, you're going to build defenses along your coast. This is just sort of human instinct. So you want to always try to be mixing it up. So running the exact same game plan against the village, even though presumably they've watched the village build their defenses, is pretty dumb. There's no reason that witch shouldn't have seen everything the villagers did to, you know, fight the zombies. Okay, fun fact, they could have just built a wall at the outset. Da da da. Okay, so one of the things you may have noticed there is that the bees are using indirect fire, right? They are dropping bombs on the enemy, which is good. But you notice that they were dropping their TNT as their friendly forces were coming into contact. That's sometimes in the real world called danger close. And it's not a great tactic because unlike in Minecraft where only enemies are damaged, friendly fire is always on in the real world. And so you want to drop your indirect fire or your ordnance on targets that you haven't yet engaged, that you're still a decent distance from. You want them to be hit with that ordnance, and then you want friendly forces to push them while they're still sort of stunned, disoriented, or wounded from the strike. So the timing should have been delayed just a little bit. All right, we got a lot of soaring epic music, so oh, okay, I get it. Okay, giving the zombie some sort of potion, turning it into a much larger zombie. Okay, this is bad. We're getting into Attack on Titan mode now. Okay. All right, I'm curious. I'm intrigued. Oh, this is very Attack on Titan. Dun 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 dun. Oh, okay, some sort of Minecraft combat thing. I'm curious how you try to turn Minecraft combat into high drama, but I'm literally watching it happen in real time, so, you know, a lot of Minecraft effects, but like the witch just doesn't have that many cool moves when you're a block. Also, I'm just going to give you guys a heads up, don't try to fight someone with a blade with your bare hands. It's a good way to get sliced up. Just run away. That's honestly your best bet, is to run. But if you have to, you can use something like a chair with 4 legs, anything that's going to give you standoff distance with this person wielding a blade. A farm implement. Oop, there we go. Dun, dun. Oh man, the dramatic choir. Damn, that's serious. They're attacking. This is the low point of the story, man. You guys know, with good storytelling, there's always a moment at the bottom when it feels like all is lost, right? And that's when you have your comeback. And if it's good storytelling, it's been set up. The comeback has, the conditions have been laid throughout the entire story. If it's bad storytelling, they use what's called a MacGuffin, and a MacGuffin is just a random widget, some hapless device, some random thing that they just sort of, the characters find or discover that lets them save the day. That's usually a trope of lazy writing. You know, it's hard for me to view Minecraft with the level of drama and seriousness that people give to Minecraft. We couldn't save the village. You gotta build the village somewhere better. So the witch's hat having magical powers is going to be like a MacGuffin. Oh, maybe the dog just means go after the witch? Okay, this is actually true. This is a hand and arm signal. This means halt. This means stop. This means halt. Halt is like, because stop is like pause what you're doing. Halt is like take a knee, take defensive positions. The only the other command that can get a formation to stop immediately is gas, 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 right? That means that you've detected a nuclear, biological, or chemical weapon deployed in the environment, and everyone needs to stop what they're doing immediately and put on their gas mask to reduce exposure. So yeah, this is realistic, using a hand and arm signal to communicate. But what doesn't make sense is that the hand and arm signals are used when you're enforcing what's called noise and light discipline. This is the idea that, you know, you don't want people to hear you approaching. You're moving sort of stealthily through an environment. So if you have a dog barking and you're still doing hand and arm signals, you know, it's sort of self-defeating. It defeats the purpose. Squidward is mad. Dude, I think actually these are supposed to be the patrons of Patreon. That's what I think when it thanked them. That's actually a really cool perk for a Patreon to get your Minecraft character in the game, in the animation. It's not... Okay, so I'm just going to put this out there, guys. If you are on the defense, generally defense is easier than offense because you win just by existing in place. The enemy are the ones who have to move, who have to engage targets, who have to break obstacles. And if the enemy beats you while you're still on the defensive, unless you have some big change to your circumstances, a new super weapon or tons of allies, or you've tripled your numbers, you probably aren't going to win on offense, right? Because, again, think, the witch just has to sit there. It's on them to push the witch out of her house or whatever. Like, okay, why did the bees suddenly get flamethrowing ability? Why didn't they have that at the outset? Okay, the bees are creative now. I don't think that's a real thing you're gonna see out of a bee. They have insect brains. I just love the like dramatic twirling stabbing combat, but the noise it actually makes is the Minecraft noise, which is just like, you know? It's so funny to me. But this does make it look cool. This makes Minecraft look like Elden Ring. That's what this is, basically. This is just like Minecraft meets Elden Ring, if we're honest. Weird, incomprehensible mythos. Bizarrely difficult enemies. What's funny is if you have projectile weapons, fighting in close quarters can actually be a huge asset for you, right? Especially if someone has a weapon that's so long that it actually becomes unwieldy in close quarters, or they rely on standoff distance with something like, say, a rifle or pistol, right? Really a rifle. So if you can close that distance, it can sometimes mitigate some of the advantages that confers. Also, worst movie trope of all time is fighting someone one at a time. Oh, there we go. Oh no, this is supposed to be... Oh yeah, okay. Okay, why the witch is a hand-to-hand combat expert, I do not understand. Also, guys, fun fact, it's actually really hard to knock somebody out. Hooray! We did it! Hooray, it's unclear that our friends are still alive. Hooray. That's also a good trope where it's just like there's a huge battle. Your friends are obviously still engaged in lethal combat. You probably don't want to chill just to have a tender moment between friends. But what is real is that you do have to refit. You can't just have a unit fight again and again and again. You need to give them a rest interval to sleep, hydrate, treat wounds, replenish their munitions. There we go. The village and the bees are back in action. All right, let's see. Let's size it up here. Okay, this is the falling action, of course. All right, let's see. Wait, here we go. Emerald level patrons. I think we saw that guy charge. Let's see. I think we saw. I'm trying to see if any of these are. I think this guy might have been in there. So the point of this story is that becoming a Patreon patron is the way to go. Guys, if you want to see me do breakdowns of videos, usually combat videos that are too spicy for YouTube, and there's a lot of spicy combat videos out there, you want to become a member of my Patreon. Thanks to my Lieutenant tier patrons. Link is in the description. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one.